Hey everybody, welcome back to Bucks Beat, episode 162 today, as we'll take a look at this Georgia-Texas showdown coming up Saturday at Sanford Stadium. Folks, it's elite versus elite. Now, although Texas and Georgia have appeared to have taken just a small step back from the high expectations entering the season, especially the Longhorns, but Kirby Smart, Steve Sarkisian. Doesn't get any better than that as far as the head coaching matchup goes. Their coaching staffs, the best players money can buy, although Ohio State's outspending all of them. The talent pool on both Texas and Georgia, we're talking big time here. Nobody's recruited better than Georgia and Texas. Quarterbacks, man, you got Arch taking on Gunner. Does it get any better than that? It's the best of the best. Saturday in Athens, Sanford Stadium, under the lights, prime time. It's going to be an electric atmosphere. Talking 93,000 plus, and it's already a tough ticket. Good luck getting in if you don't already have a ticket. We're talking $300 for the nosebleed, $1,200 for a good ticket. Bulldog Nation been excited about this matchup for years. For the longest of time, all the talk in the Bulldog Nation was how the home schedule stunk. But they saw this Texas game looming, and Bulldog Nation has been looking forward to this for a long, long time. Here come the Texas Longhorns. Get ready for this. Now, let's break it down on both sides of the ball. I see two critical matchups, one on each side of the ball. And we'll start with the Georgia offense and the Texas defense. Bulldogs, you know the deal. Determined to run it. Run the ball effectively. And they have elevated this run game to number 4 in the SEC, 197 yards a game, 4.5 yards a carry. This Longhorn defense is elite at stopping the run. Best in the SEC, 2.4 yards per carry, 78 yards a game. So the run game rub, I'm going to call this. Something's got to give in this particular matchup. Texas, 2 defensive tackles drafted in the NFL draft in each of the last 2 drafts. You want to stop the run game? You have dominating impact defensive tackles. They've had 4 in the last 2 years. Well, this team had to hit the transfer portal to find them. For 2 big defensive tackles that are helping them play the run tough, you got Murad Watson, was a freshman All-American last season for Syracuse, made the jump to Texas. And then Hero Canoe. I think that's how you say it. Big nose tackle transferred in from Ohio State. And they're going to face off with Micah Morris, Drew Bobo, Dontrell Glover, and Juan Gaston. Folks, if Frazier and Bowens are going to do some damage, Georgia needs to win this interior line of scrimmage matchup. This is grown man football, is what this matchup is going to be all about. Longhorns have 3 impact players on defense. They've got 3 of them that you need to be aware of, 1 at each level of the defense. There are 3 levels. You got Colin Simmons coming off the edge. He's an elite pass rusher. Super sophomore, can bring the heat. So Colin Simmons, keep an eye on him coming off the edge. Probably heard about their off-the-ball linebacker, Anthony Hill, preseason All-American linebacker. And then their free safety, active and disruptive, Michael Taaffe. They got big-time players all 3 levels of the D. Their defensive coordinator, Pete Kwiatkowski, plays a lot of too-high safety, and they're still able to slow down the run game. They create pressure with simulated pressures, and that's when they They have 7, 8 crowding the line of scrimmage. Snap of the ball, you're going to have to guess which guys are coming and which guys are dropping out in pass coverage. Make the offense guess who's rushing the quarterback. It creates confusion as far as the protection goes. So Gunner Stockton's going to have to be on top of his game, play at the level that he's been playing at, and that's at the top of college football. Gunner, this week, number 3 in QBR nationally. His advanced numbers are better than Mendoza, who I hear a lot of people talking about being the first quarterback off the board in the upcoming NFL draft. Diego Pavia. His numbers are better than Tyler Simpson and Haynes King. Gunner's balling, man. And I told you, tried to tell you he was going to play ball this year. Some of you didn't listen, some of you did. As I mentioned, the big key is Georgia running the ball effectively with Frazier and Bowens. Bulldogs also need explosive plays in the passing game, and they've gotten them here lately out in Starkville. Noah Thomas with the big play catch and run for the touchdown last week, and also Zachariah Branch is being explosive too. And how about freshman tight end Elias Williams? He's making an impact here late in the season. This is a huge boost for Georgia, too. He's a mismatch advantage. Saw that big catch out in Stark Vegas where he went up over the defensive back. I mean, this guy's 6'8", and a wingspan of about 7 feet, highly skilled. He's now comfortable in the scheme. He knows what he's doing. Look for Williams to be a big play man here the rest of the year. All right, let's flip it over to the other side of the ball. Georgia defense, Texas offense. This is where the premier coaching matchup comes into play. You got Kirby running Georgia's defense. You got Sarkisian running Texas's offense. Elite versus elite right there. The Longhorns' issues offensively have been they've not had a consistent run game this season. They're relying on Arch and the passing game to lead the way this season without much of a running game at all. At times, it's been a struggle for the Texas offense. They played some great competition, though. You need to take that into consideration. They faced some of the top defenses in college football already. Ohio State in the season opener, Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, Florida plays good defense. The Horns have punted the ball 41 times, and that's the third most in the SEC. So they have struggled moving the football consistently. They're number 10 in the SEC in scoring offense under 30 points a game. I'm sure Sark is disappointed with that. But they've had better performances recently. Arch Manning's been playing clean. Played clean last week against a really good Vanderbilt defense. Arch 25 of 33 for 330 yards and 3 touchdowns. No sacks, no turnovers. Arch played clean. Probably his best game of the season the last time out. The Bulldogs' issues pressuring the quarterback. You've heard a lot about that. Last Saturday in Starkville, Georgia got some pressure. They played a little more aggressively early in the game. Ended up with 3 sacks and 6 tackles for losses against those Maroon Bulldogs. So the biggest key in this matchup, on this side of the ball, Georgia's got to get pressure on Arch Manning, disrupt Manning, knock Manning around, sack Manning, force bad throws, force Arch into bad decisions. They're relying on Arch to lead the way with the passing game, and the best way to defend that is to get after him in the pocket. Sarkisian's game plan He's got to scheme up multiple shots vertically because, look, he does it every weekend. This is what Sarkisian's all about. We want to take shots down the field 6 times a game. And that's where Georgia's a little bit weak at free safety. The Dogs are vulnerable at free safety right now. With an injury to the starter, they've had a couple of backups mixing their way in. It has not been impressive. Open receivers behind the free safety. Can't have that. They got away with it against Florida. Sarkisian needs a good third down plan. This is where Georgia really turns up the heat on third down. And Sark has got to give Arch a really good game plan on third down. Give Arch a place to go with the ball short to intermediate so he can get the ball out on time before the pressure can get to him. Allow him to get it out quick sometimes. That would be huge for Arch. That'd be bad for Georgia. Of course, Kirby Smart and Glenn Schumann, they know what Sarkisian is most likely to do. So they'll tighten up that coverage short to intermediate. A Texas win means they attacked with the passing game and made a lot of plays against Georgia. So the Dogs have got to cover up these receivers like Ryan Wingo. Can the Georgia defense pressure Arch, disrupt the Horns' passing attack? Can the Georgia offense get the run game going against one of the top run defenses in college football? Those are 2 huge keys to a Georgia victory on Saturday. And for one former player that you're looking and listening to right now, I sure hope these 2 things happen. Georgia in the mix for a college football playoff appearance. Right now looking like a 5 seed, not playing in the SEC title game. Getting a week off and 2 weeks prep, leading into a home playoff game at Sanford Stadium in December. Man, Bulldog Nation, that is something to be looking forward to. And I think it's probably a better path for Georgia than playing another knockdown, drag-out, physically and emotionally draining 4 quarters of high-level football in the SEC title game and then turning around and jumping right into the playoffs. I'm good. But the Bulldogs missing out on that this year, just so they can make a deep run in the playoffs. We'll be back later this week with another podcast. We appreciate you hanging out on Bucks Beat. So we break down the Georgia-Texas game. We'll talk to you.